Hello everyone. Welcome back to the top 10 most awesome channel. Day 5 of the Russian invasion has involved other countries as well, so watch out what the day 4 of the war has come up with. Make sure you watch every highlight till the end. Starting with number 10. The EU is taking the unprecedented step of sending arms to Ukraine following Russia's invasion. Speaking at a news conference, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said the move marked a watershed moment. The EU is also closing its airspace to Russian planes and will ban Russian state media outlets. We are shutting down EU airspace for Russian-owned, Russian-registered or Russian-controlled aircraft, Ms. von der Leyen said. All such planes, including the private jets of oligarchs, will now be unable to land in, take off from or fly over any EU nation. Russian planes have also been banned from UK airspace. Number 9. EU agrees to let in fleeing Ukrainians. EU countries will also fast-track Ukrainian refugees and set aside the usual bureaucracy. The move was announced by the German Interior Minister, who said member states had agreed unanimously to admit refugees for up to 3 years without asking them to apply for asylum first. Tens of thousands of Ukrainians have been displaced by the Russian attack on their country, and many are seeking refuge in the EU. Number 8. Putin puts Russian nuclear forces on high alert. Vladimir Putin has ordered Russia's military to put its deterrence forces, which include nuclear weapons, on special alert. He told defense chiefs it was because of aggressive statements by the West, amid widespread condemnation of his invasion of Ukraine. The announcement does not mean Russia intends to use the weapons. The US immediately condemned his decision, calling it unacceptable escalation. Last week, Mr. Putin had warned that whoever tries to hinder us in Ukraine would see consequences you have never seen in your history. Those words were widely interpreted as signaling a threat to use nuclear weapons if the West stood in his way. Number 7. Ukrainian forces repel attack on Kharkiv. Ukrainian forces say they have repelled an attack on the country's second city, Kharkiv, after fierce clashes with Russian forces. Regional Governor Oleh Sinhubov said the city was now rid of Russian troops after street-to-street fighting. Thousands spent the night in basements and shelters, with heavy shelling described by one resident as something like Star Wars above your head. The wave of the blast was so strong that my ears popped, another said. Daria Samoilov, who with others has been forced to hide in the basement of her apartment building, she had barely slept for 3 days. It's maximum 1-2 hours a night, they're shooting all day long and all night long, without any pauses. She said the fighting had left parts of the city badly damaged. I have lots of friends who lost their homes yesterday. I'm not sure if I feel safe, because a missile can fall anywhere and destroy any building. It's like roulette. Number 6. Germany ups defense spending. The war in Ukraine has prompted Germany to pledge a massive hike in defense spending and a major change in policy. During an emergency parliamentary session on Ukraine on Sunday, Chancellor Olaf Scholz announced an additional $113 billion, £84 billion, for the German army. There was an audible ripple of shock in parliament. Some MPs clapped, some booed, others looked stunned. Undeterred, Mr. Scholz went on to announce drastic measures that would have been unthinkable a week ago, including a constitutional commitment to NATO's military spending target of 2% of GDP, and he confirmed that Germany would be sending weapons directly to Ukraine. Within a few days, Vladimir Putin has managed to do what NATO allies have spent years trying to achieve, a massive increase of military spending in Germany. Number 5. Sanctions hit Russia's central bank. Russia's central bank has issued an appeal for calm amid fears that new financial sanctions could spark a run on its banks. It said it has the necessary resources and tools to maintain financial stability and ensure the operational continuity of the financial sector. The EU, the US, the UK and Canada have announced that the assets of Russia's central bank will be frozen. Some Russian banks will also be excluded from the SWIFT payment system. A run on Russian banks would see too many people trying to withdraw money. On Friday, Russia's central bank was forced to increase the amount of money it supplies to ATMs after demand for cash reached the highest level since March 2020. Number 4. Western aid and weapons. Germany says it is sending 1,000 anti-tank weapons and 500 Stinger surface-to-air missiles to help Ukraine, after the United States vows $350 million in additional military funding. France, Belgium, the Czech Republic, Portugal and Greece are also rushing military equipment, light weapons or fuel there, while Italy gives €110 million in immediate aid. More countries are evolving day by day. India has also escaped its citizen, making the war pause. Look further what more things happen. Also, take a moment to subscribe the channel and to watch the latest update on the channel about the war. Just press the bell icon. Moving on to number 3. 340,000 refugees. Poland says 115,000 refugees have crossed its border from Ukraine since Russia invaded, with the UN estimating 160,000 Ukrainians are internally displaced. More than 50,000 have also crossed into Hungary and Romania, with 16,000 more going into Moldova. Number 2. 15 students from Ukraine arrived in Hyderabad earlier today after they were evacuated and brought to Delhi along with other students. They were received by General Admin Department Secretary Shamshabad MLAT Prakash Gode and local corporator, as instructed by CM KCR. Indian students arrived from Ukraine at Delhi's IGI airport on an SPL flight. Many Indians are stuck there. But we met Minister Piyush Goyal in Mumbai after we landed. He assured us that all our friends will be back. Government of India has done good work. Relaxed after reaching India. Number 1. U.S. allies cut selected Russian banks from main international payment system SWIFT. The U.S., EU and their allies have agreed to cut off a number of Russian banks from the main international payment system SWIFT. The measures also include restrictions on the Russian Central Bank's international reserves, ending the golden passports for wealthy Russians and their families, and targeting individuals and institutions in Russia and elsewhere that support the war against Ukraine. There is much more coming on the Top 10 Most Awesome channel about the Russia-Ukraine riots. Till you just like and share this video and give us love. I will see you in the next one. Stay tuned.